Hey everybody, and welcome back to the farm and to the shop. I'm gonna give y'all an update video. I haven't videoed much lately. It's been too cold. As you can see, that's ice in the back of this truck. Today's 40 degrees right now, but it was 24 this morning. I think yesterday's high was in the 30s, and Saturday was like wind chill in the single digits. It was just ridiculous. One thing here a while back I worked on was trying to get this water hooked up with a de-icer. So I ran power from a well. I had power going to this well. Of course, there's no pump in this well, so I just hooked into the supply line and run under, put me an outlet right here on this fence, put the de-icer on there, and plugged it in. And I didn't realize by putting those two things there was actually going to mess me up. But when they drank the water down, the de-icer got hung up, came out of the water, and as you can see, maybe you can see, I think it burned up that element right there. So I don't think it's no good. Of course, now the water's about gone. They've been froze, so the little spigot here's been froze. Heifers in here trying to wean, but we just turned them out. And that was a couple weeks ago. It might have been last weekend before last. So I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan on this. That line from the de-icer needs to be a little longer than what it is, but they say do not use an extension cord. So I don't understand why they don't put a longer cord on there. They actually want us to put a pipe in there and run the cord through the pipe. But heck, you'd have to have an inch pipe or bigger for that cord end to fit in. It's just crazy. So we've been putting out hay, a good bit of hay, as we can get the tractors crunk up. And last Saturday, Saturday was a week ago, I got down here and decided I would burn some hay off. And I usually try to do that in the fall before the grass dies and catch that old hay that's been sitting there all summer good and dry. But I didn't get around to it this fall, so went ahead. It's supposed to rain that Monday. So I was like, well, I better go ahead and get this hay burnt off. So I started with this pile right here, and I realized after I lit it that this grass, this old Bermuda right here, it's pretty dry. So it had, started spreading, which I got it out, and it was just sitting there smoldering. So I went out yonder and I burned a bunch more. You can see a big pile. This big pile right here, it smoldered for days and days. Well, I got everything under control and had it burn up enough around it that I wasn't worried about it catching back on fire. Went to the house, and wasn't long, my mom called me and said the fire department was out there. So I went out there and talked to them, and they was concerned about the wind, and they was really concerned about this pile close to the barn. And I had firefighters out there scratching in that old hay, and of course it was getting the hay up that was up under it, smoldering. It got, was catching it back on fire. And anyway, they ended up calling the forestry service. The forestry deals with fires like out in the open like that. So I'm going to include a little piece of clip on this video when the forestry service showed up at the house with their bulldozer. Oh hell, I done it now. Daggum forestry. And brought his plow out, plowed the daggum pasture up. All I was doing was burning some old hay. It didn't get out of hand or nothing. The fire department rode by and got concerned about it, and then they called in the world. So I guess we're gonna have to get this pasture plowed up. And here comes the the main forester guy right here. I'm gonna have to talk to him. Probably get a fine out of it. I don't know, hope not. But, they were both really nice guys. The guy driving the bulldozer and the chief forester ranger come out, and they backbladed around those piles out there in the pasture. The fire department actually put out this pile beside the barn with their brush truck because it was getting dark, and so lesson learned. You know, it was a little bit windy. I got a burn permit, but the burn permit, according to the fire department, didn't really pertain to that kind of burn. I didn't get fined or anything, but you know, just a big hassle there for everybody. You know, hassle for the fire department, it was hassle for the forestry service. So, lesson learned. I won't be burning any more hay piles. So I guess I'll just pile it up and let it rot. So, like I said, the weather's just been so cold, and I want to get started. I want to get finished with this truck in here. I got all the parts I need to rebuild this rake. Everything, all bearings and everything. Everything's sitting in here ready to go. It's just a matter of getting over here and getting the part, sandblasting it, painting it. And I can't do any painting because of the weather. I guess I could paint, you know, I guess I could, man, I gotta find my key. So I guess I could heat up this shop some and paint it, but I don't want to take the chance of having to repaint this thing again. So, you know, I got this little torpedo heater, and it'll heat the shop up pretty good, but you know, then I got to heat the paint up, got to heat the work up. I mean, I got to pull the truck out or cover it up. I wished I'd had it covered up because it's pretty dusty. And to me, it's just not worth the hassle. You know, I told my stepson that, you know, I was wanting to try to get it done by his birthday, which is coming up on the 17th, and I told him it just ain't going to happen, and he's good with that. So we will get on it just as soon as the weather clears, maybe this spring. And as you know, as we get some nice days, I'm going to try to get some stuff painted. So I was going to bring you along to show you. You may have already seen this in the previous video. I think I put it on previous video, but I've got this sanded down, ready to reprime, and I think it's going to be all right. It's a lot better than it was. Still got a little high spot right here, but this moves, so it must have had a pretty good dent there, because that's got about 2 or 3 different layers of Bondo on it, or body filler. It ain't Bondo, but everything else looks pretty good on it. So it's just a matter of getting it re-primed and re-sanded and then sealed and painted. I did manage to get the shop halfway straightened out. Of course, I have a bunch of leaves in here from the roof vent. Can't believe how much leaves comes through that opening right there, but it is pretty bad. It's all over the table and everywhere else. So I got some room in here to work now, and I got most of my signs up. I had a bunch of signs that was given to me for my birthday and all, and I got those mounted. And I got one more big Auburn sign right there, and I ain't got no place for. And so I also got a new sticker in the mail. Oh, I got my little thermometer up. Let's see how cold it is in here. It's about 40, maybe 43, 44 according to that. I know you probably can't see it, it's so small. But I got a new sticker in the mail, and I'm going to do a quick mail call on that. Alright, so I'm going to add this mail call in with this video. It's from Keith 1212. Appreciate the sticker, Keith. I'm going to get you a couple in the mail. most of y'all probably already are familiar with Keith 1212's channel if you've been dealing with these stickers, but you know, he does a lot of motorcycling and camping, and right now he's been working on some old computers and getting those going for gaming computers. Like he's got a Windows 95 machine and a Windows 98 machine, and that really brings back memories for me, because I used to work on those computers at home, you know, and try to build them and sell them and refurbish them. And then once they started coming out with, you know, cheaper motherboards and aftermarket cases, I started building, you know, computers that way. And I just left them old, like IBMs and stuff alone. I didn't fool with that too much, but so he sent me quite a few stickers here. All right, so here's one. That's a good one. You can see them on the motorcycle, and then a couple of these stickers right here. Two of those. Well, I think one of them's goes in the back of the back glass, so you know it doors. So I got rid of that old squeaky door. So so I'm gonna put one of these on this back one here. I'm gonna put one of them on this side one, and the one that's goes on the window, I'll save that for later. So let's go ahead and get this mounted up. Oh, and beside Bubba's Garage, this homegrown band. I went and seen these guys on New Year's Eve. They played here locally. They are a local band, and they have a YouTube channel. If you like country music, I'll tell you what, these guys can sing. There's a male and a female, or there's a man and a woman. You know, sometimes he sings, sometimes she sings, and I tell you what, she can really sing. So right under Bubba's Garage, right here. And my stickers that Vortex made, Vortex 67, they don't stick too well. I don't know what kind of decals he uses, but they don't stick too good. So that's a good spot. But so go check out Keith 1212, and if you get a chance, just type in and search. I'll leave a link in the description for both these channels. Go check those guys out. They're still small right now, trying to get started, and they are a local band to me, and they can sing pretty good. I'm gonna get the other one up here on this other. So on this cabinet, I don't have too many. I usually just put, if you give me more than one sticker, I'll stick one on both cabinets. But right beside Bubba's Garage, I guess he was the last one I put up. It'd be a good spot. Alright. So there you go, Keith, and I'll get you a couple of my stickers in the mail to you. Appreciate it. So anyway, that's the update. Hopefully the weather will break here soon. They're calling for cold weather the rest of the week and rainy weather next week. So typical Georgia winter is cold or rainy, and neither one of them is fit for painting. So until then, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't.